It's Sunday night, and you know what that means. Usually, we do our box office banter at the start of the week, but this week we brought you a special episode, a 2 hour long episode with Doug Curtis, the producer of many great movies such as Freddy versus Jason, the Philadelphia Experiment, Friday After Next, Next Friday. The list goes on, but
Shoot
we're
him
here.
up. Shoot him
Shoot
up.
him up,
Of
shoot him
course.
up, cellular. So yeah, but we're here on Sunday delivering our box office banter to you guys, which is where we basically talk about movies that are out in the cinema, but also most importantly supporting Bathgate Cinema. And obviously today we are talking about the Suicide Squad. But first off, J Mac, what's up?
Where's that? Yeah, not a lot. It's been a typical week of sorts, just ploughing away with the other job, and it's just look, mate. Suicide Squad.
Looking forward to speaking to it.
Ye- Absolutely. I didn't
Ah,
think I never thought I'd ever say that. I mean, you
yeah.
know what my feelings were about the Suicide Squad and superhero things in general. So,
Mhm.
aye, I'm. This was fun. That was
Yeah,
fun.
well, we will get to that exactly. But before we do, we always do the same thing every week where we chat about what's going on in the cinema. So I'm just going to bring up the cinema screen, and we can chat about what's going on in Bathgate Cinema. Here we go. All right. So as you can see here, Paw Patrol still in the cinema. I think it's self-explanatory when you look at
You
Paw Patrol.
sounded so surprised there.
Right,
But
this one is.
the film that we're talking about tonight isn't, but Paw Patrol is.
But, so Free Guy, this is what we're going to do next for next week. This looks actually brilliant, but we'll not talk too much about what we're expecting from it because we'll jam pack that in next week's box office banner. Free Guy looking good. The marketing looks kind of similar to the Deadpool one, would you say?
I think he is Deadpool now. Anything they try and do with him. In fact, there's a movie poster that's got like him carrying Deadpool or the other way about.
For this, yeah, that's what I kind of wondered. And you know another thing,
Uh,
when Deadpool came out, right? Do you know that a lot of the movies that were in like Walmart and not Asda because it was in America, they'd basically made Deadpool covers for every other movie. So if it was say Jumanji, right, it had a slip-off case with Deadpool holding Jumanji box on it, right? I love how troll they went with Deadpool, and it just is a big troll. Now, by the way, Ryan Reynolds played Deadpool before the Deadpool movie. If you remember, the X-Men Origins Wolverine, it was a
yes,
different kind of Deadpool, but it was Deadpool nonetheless. And then
yeah.
he was Deadpool at the end of it.
The funny thing, I remember doing I got hired as a photographer for a cosplay shoot.
Mhm,
This was probably 7 years ago. Can't remember.
mhm,
But there was a guy there. In fact, I think there was a couple, but there was one guy that put a decent effort in his Deadpool costume. This was before Deadpool was the kind of phenomenon that it
mhm.
became. I think it was still very much a comic book thing at that time. But he he was dressed up as Deadpool, and his gag, like his joke, was that he never said a word,
Hmm,
which
yeah,
matches more up with the X-Men thing.
yeah, but not
Um,
now though, eh?
no, but not even with
Not
the original comic character. As far as I'm
mhm,
aware, I'm sure he was
mhm.
a mouthy prick as well.
The game's amazing. See the video game for PlayStation 4, you
Mm.
turn it on, right? And, so you play as Deadpool, and he's like he like goes to the toilet, and he's like, "Hey, don't judge me. You're a 30-year-old man sitting at home playing your video game. You're controlling me, right?" It's like he speaks to you as you're playing the game. It's
That's quite
brilliant.
cool.
It's
Can you
really
get
cool.
that for the Xbox One? Because I've got
You
an Xbox
probably
One.
you probably can. I know that I don't think you can buy it on the actual store. You have to buy it as a disc, I think. But check it out. It might be on the
An
Xbox Store.
old-fashioned disc.
Yeah.
I
Um,
don't even know that. It does take discs. I know there's
yeah.
one that doesn't, but yeah, it does.
Yeah, but definitely check out. It's a game that's full of satire, and he makes a lot of witted jokes when you're killing people and that. But he always has a relationship with you who's playing the game. He's like when it vibrates, and he's like, "Oh, you feel that on your hands?"
I just like the way he talks. Everyone's just kind of so low and sarcastic. Hi there.
It's like Tandy. Uh, there we go. Jungle Cruise, which we
Spoke,
saw.
yeah, we
Yep,
spoke about
last
it last week, last
and
Thursday or Wednesday. That was
you.
that episode. That film was so much better than it should have been.
Mhm,
There's still, as you can see, still showings of that going on, probably until the minute I say it. And then
mhm.
It'll probably disappear, but get your tickets if you can because it's an awesome, awesome, fun
Mhm.
movie.
Absolutely. Mamma Mia and Mamma Mia, Here I Go Again. Here we go again, right? 20th, remember that, sorry, it's on at 8 o'clock on the 28th of August, and the first one is on the 27th of August, Bathgate Cinema, www.bathgatecinema.co.uk. Book your tickets. And of course, the 40th anniversary of Grease. This is a sing along. I know people already that have got their costumes for this and are going dressed up. So this will be one of those nights. That's something you really don't want to miss. And
This is where I feel like I've betrayed myself as a movie fan. The fact that I both hate Grease and I've never seen Rocky Horror.
wrong with you,
I
laddie.
don't
What's
know.
wrong with you?
I think there genuinely might be something wrong with me because everybody loves Grease except my older brother. I think I remember
Hmm.
him saying he hates it at some point.
I
But
can't say that I'm a huge fan of it, but I appreciate it for what it is.
shut up, Sandy, 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 Tandy.
Um, yeah, so we've got Friday 29th as a Rocky Horror Picture Show, then on the 30th of October, and then Sunday the 31st of October, last chance to get your tickets for something quite pleasurable.
Wish I got it. Wish I got it.
I'm so gutted that you didn't get it. That's
You knew I wasn't going to get it.
but there, there's
Yeah.
there's always the chance. So aye, make sure you get your tickets at bathgatecinema.co.uk. That's why we do this show, to kind of just show our support, and we work closely with those guys. So if there's stuff you want to see there, if there's events you'd like to see there, get in touch. You can do so by going to the social media, Bathgate Cinema, or you can find us at everywhere, be it any social media outlet, or you can go to jibberjabberscotland@gmail.com, or even just leave a comment in the comment section and we'll get right back to you.
One
Mhm.
thing I should also mention, I didn't know this isn't something that they've done through Jibber Jabber podcast, but Bathgate Cinema are screening the final episode of Love Island, which is coming up. Is it Friday
Monday,
or next
Monday, Monday.
Monday?
This Monday, tomorrow.
Apparently, it's nearly sold out. If you're into that kind of stuff, which me and Kev are so into, you can still get a ticket. So, batter in if you fancy that kind of tripe.
Yeah. So if you think Teddy and Faye are going to win, or who else is there? There's Teddy and Faye. There is.
You know
Uh,
people.
I was just playing along. It's Teddy and Faye, and
I'm
who else have
disappointed.
we got? Oh, we've got Liam and Millie, and who else are couples in it as well?
You and I need to
Oh,
have words.
so mate, it was product research. Product research. Maureen O'Driscoll says Raiders of the Lost Ark would be great.
I absolutely would.
Absolutely. I wish we could hand out gold stars on this show. I wish we had virtual gold stars that I could just ping one right away to Maureen O'Driscoll for such a
Just
great.
get it pinged. Get it
Get it,
pinged.
get it pinged over there, Maureen. Absolutely class. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Hey, maybe we'll
One day.
take that to Ross and we'll see what can happen. Maureen also says, would rather boil and eat my own eyeballs than watch Love Island. Again, give that girl 2 gold stars.
Good point. Well made, Maureen.
Yeah,
But
yes.
some people like it. I don't understand it. If anybody's watching just now that does like it, can you please explain why?
It's not that we like it, it's just that they fight a lot in it. Um,
You get that in the house. You don't need to watch telly for
my
that.
wife watches it, right? And it's one of those things. There's a guy in there that has literally left one girl for another, then left that girl for another, then left that girl for another, and then went back with the first girl that he left for all those other girls.
That's how
And
my
she
gran used to go shopping. She'd go to the first shop and see something like, aye, but I'll check such and such, see if it's cheaper.
Ah,
And then
ah,
check such and such, I might be cheaper. Then back to the first shop. Right, we've
ah.
been out for 2 hours. You've spent 450.
Aye, and the thing is as well, like think about the labor it takes to get around the shop. You're essentially cheaper not doing the search when you kind of look her up in the time spent. Maureen O'Driscoll says cheap telly. Totally agree with you, Maureen. Totally agree with you. Cheap telly, but sometimes it's good
You,
for car
you
crash
selling
TV.
something?
Well, we're here to sell something. The new flick that is the Suicide Squad. So we're going to chat about that right after the trailer. Enjoy. I felt that that full trailer gives away the majority of the damn movie. What is wrong with the trailers these days?
It's a criticism that I've got on many trailers just now is they're just giving away far too much, give away far too much in the way of what essentially should be reveals in a movie. Should be moments that you don't see coming or moments that are going to moments that like, they're building up to moments like you see in trailers, and it's just not cricket.
No, absolutely not. I think let's get into a little bit, a wee bit of context here, and I'm going to ask you this because I couldn't find an actual answer. And usually I'm good with this stuff, right? But is this a reboot? I know it's a standalone, but it's what? How are we
It's
expected to just take that in?
it's essentially a reboot. Basically, I think what's happened is uh, the control was taken away for the filmmakers a lot with the last one, and it ended up being an absolute shit show. This one, the studios learned from the mistake and gave basically full creative control to the filmmakers. And this
Mm,
is the product. This is the end product.
mm.
Ah, I sense dissension in the ranks.
I knew that this would be a really good talking point, and I've held back on giving you my thingy. I felt that I enjoyed the first one better.
Well, I switched the first one off because I thought it was a big pile of. It was like an entire beach covered in dicks.
At
I
one
didn't
point,
like the first one at all. I think as soon as the baddie showed up, that witchy thing, I was like, nah, I'm out. This is nonsense.
I thought
Just
it was cool.
could not get into it at all. But for me, this is just I think for me, this one kind of hits more of the chords that I would expect from a film like this. But I'm not normally a fan of a film like this, so that might explain why I liked it, and you didn't.
Mm, well, I just think it was a bit. I don't know. First off, like I'm trying not to give any spoilers away here, but the
What
very
that was
first,
in the trailer.
well, aye, exactly. But see, the original cast, the original Suicide Squad, which existed and are reprised by the same actors, what was that all about? And then suddenly we have another cast. Like,
I think it was just a way of saying, "Listen, fuck the first one." I think it was a really obvious, unsubtle way of saying that. Listen, this is not the first one. Give this one a chance. I
mm,
think that's what it was.
I like the unpredictability of it. Like, oh, that's a
Mhm.
great character. They'll no kill. Oh,
Yeah, you kind of find
Wha-
yourself going, you know what? I really like that guy. Oh, okay.
and another thing is, why hire Sylvester Stallone to do a voice that you probably wouldn't even know if you didn't see his name there? Why would you do that?
I think it's absolutely hilarious, man, that they managed to actually get Sylvester Stallone to play the do the voice. Yeah, stupid shark. I think
That
it's a
you can barely make out what he's
oh no,
saying.
I can tell it's him.
Aye, but come on.
Even without knowing, I'd be like, that sounds like Stallone, and then I'd Google it and go, Stallone.
Why? Because he sounds like a daft. He's like, how
No,
does
because
that sound like?
it's Stallone. I'm watching it now.
Sake.
Sorry,
Ba-dum.
sorry. Oh,
Do you
bang!
know what? Do you know what that was? That was
It's still got that. I've done so many better ones since as well.
I know, I know. I think I'm gonna have to. Do you know what? If you're into it, guys, if you're listening to this at home on Spotify, Google Podcasts, if you're watching this live, or if you're just watching this and it's in the archives and it's not live,
You're not going to
tell
ask
us.
people to send in their farts, like
That's a
that'd
better
be
idea,
weird.
mate. That's a better idea than what I do have. What I was gonna say was that if you want me to make a compilation of all the farts that JMac sends me through WhatsApp Messenger and whatnot, I can save those audio files and I can put them into like a
I
big
want you to do it.
compilation,
I'd love
right?
to hear that.
If the audience would love to hear that, then it's worth the time, and I'll go ahead and do it. But like JMac said, if you also have farts that you would like to send in, it's jibberjabberscotland at gmail.com. MP3 preferred.
If we get one email with a fart, this is a success of a show.
The thing is though, right? Can you imagine having a fart off with JMac versus the audience? So you like send me a fart that week, and then someone in the audience who think they can top it sends in a fart, and you have a fart off. Look at your eyes getting all big.
Raiders of the Lost Fart.
Raiders of the Lost Fart.
Well,
Raiders
this
of the
took a
Lost.
turn.
Oh, the Suicide Squat. Do you know what we should do as well? Anytime you've got a beast and fart, right? Send me a landscape video, right? Send me a landscape, right? And I'll package it like a movie, right? I'll put the graphics and all on it like a movie, and we'll play them in the box office banter every week. Okay,
Okay.
landscape. Okay, landscape. Do your do all that, animate it, send it to me, and I will package that. I'll brand it like a movie.
So
and
you're
I'll
going to
add
package what I unpackage.
It's gonna be. It'll be like it'll be a swift transaction, or should I say a swift transaction?
A swift backtraction.
Backtraction.
Mate, I
Speaking
think
of,
this has officially become a guy's show.
well, I don't know. Quite a lot of our listeners are actually female. I think it's because they
The
like your
worst. Until this
But,
moment.
mate, Harley Quinn. In this
Mm.
one, she seemed like I feel like the 2017 version of Harley Quinn was that she was bending over all the time for you to see her ass. She was used as an absolute sex symbol. I can't think why they would do that, but she was. I feel in this one she was more of a character than look. There's Harley Quinn shaking her ass.
Mhm.
Would you agree on that? It was
100%. Yeah. I mean, there's actually, I mean, the screen time is divided up pretty well between most of the characters, to be honest with you. And I think when it comes to Harley Quinn, when she's on screen, is she gorgeous? Aye, a bit crazy, but it's not in your face.
No.
So I think it was done. I was done a bit more tastefully this time, and we can look forward to seeing 4,000 people dressed up as her at the next Comic Con as well.
All shapes and sizes.
Very much so.
I
Very few of them the right shape and size.
Stop it.
Terrible.
John Cena was great in this. The Peacemaker. Didn't he do a lot of peacemaking? But by the way, I'm digging him. I'm digging John Cena in movies. I'm enjoying it.
I have to say I did laugh out loud, properly out loud at one of his lines, and I want to give it away, but I don't. I really want to say it, but I'm not going to give it away.
Come on, I've done it a million times. At least you can do it once. Come on.
It's what he's like. I'm all about liberty and freedom, and I don't care how many men, women, and children I have to kill to get there. So okay.
He's a bit deranged. Did you watch the after credit scene?
Yes. Actually, the movie finished, and my wife was like, "Right, let's go." I'm like, "Nope, this is a comic book film. There's going to be an after credit sequence." But it was a bit underwhelming. Still worth seeing, but a wee bit underwhelming.
No, I mean it gives you like, all right, so they could do more with that then.
Aye.
Right. But by the way, when we done the Braveheart screening at Bathgate Cinema, I went in as the credits were rolling for the Suicide Squad, started setting up the audio equipment, and then I was like, oh, I've not seen this movie yet, but there's the after credit. So I guess this is, But another thing, by the way, and I'm just going to say it right up. There was one thing, and I'm going to ask you, there was one thing I loved about this movie, and then I was disappointed, then I was kind of happy again, right? One thing that was so me, and I thought, yes, and they took it away from me. What was it?
Weasel.
Mate, it was Weasel. It was so Weasel. I was like, this guy is awesome. He's just like, I was like in the windy note. He's part of this crew, mate. And then it's like, oh, did anybody bother to check if Weasel could swim? And then I was like, no. I was like, I wanted Weasel Weasel in this. I wanted Weasel. And then at the end, it's like Weasel essentially just sat out the movie. But I'm like, no, mate, that would have made it so much better for me having a cat. Like, see Weasel, right? If someone said to me, go and write a book right now, Weasel's the kind of guy I'd come up with. He's my main star, right? Weasel and I are kindred spirits. If I was to become another animal, that would be me. That is so everything I love about a character. He couldn't speak. He was stupid.
Something right now is telling me that I at some point turned to my wife and I said, that Weasel reminds me of Kevin.
Is it when it was looking the windows?
I think it was just because he was just like so full of beans and mental.
Mate, that's what I'm saying. That guy is so me. I relate to
your
Weasel.
kindred spirit. And your nickname on this podcast is Weasel.
Weasel. Mate, I'm going to share my screen.
Kevin Weasel.
I'm just going to share my screen here. This is Weasel. Look at that face. Look at that face. Look at that.
That's like you, mate. That's like you when you've had a really good idea.
It so is, isn't it? Look.
Mate, just if you could just animate it so he's going, mate.
So is, isn't it? Mate, we should start a podcast, right? And what we'll do is we'll eventually make it a video podcast and go on YouTube, and we'll get celebrities on, and we'll do all this, the circuits of conventions and stuff. J-Mac, it could be really great.
I can see all that coming right out of his stupid
mate, but they took him away from me. They took him away from me. In Weasel we trust.
Yeah,
I loved Weasel for the short time that we had him on screen. And speaking about short time, what about Michael Rooker? I know.
Spoiler. And there's no post-credit sequence bringing him back. Like,
oh man! Oh. And by the way, how cute were those wee things that Big Stallone thought were his pals, and then they tracked them?
Aye.
Brilliant. He's like, oh look, they're so nice, and the wee cutie and that, and then like that. Fucking
the thing is, out of the main characters that do survive, I don't think there's any that are particularly disliked. In fact, I think I liked most of them. I struggled a wee bit with the polka dot guy for a while. I wasn't quite sure what was going on there. Still not 100% sure if I'm sure what was going on there. But I can't remember his name, unfortunately, but the guy that Joel Kinnaman plays, the soldier boy, quite liked him. Idris Elba kind of
crank that.
He steals the show a little bit. Idris Elba as Bloodsport. So I have no complaints really about any of the main characters. It's even Peter Capaldi.
He was brilliant. He was brilliant in it.
He was so weird and creepy and funny at the same time. He was hard to look at sometimes. Like that the thing sticking out his head and that.
What were those for?
To make him look weird and creepy.
I don't think they had any power.
No, it's
at
like
least it wasn't explained.
It's like the thing that remember at the start of Back to the Future and Marty chaps on Doc's door in 1955 and he's got that thing in his head. It's like the frame came away and it left all the wee bits in. That's what it looks like.
What do you mean the frame? You mean the pasta strainer?
Aye, the pasta strainer. This damn thing doesn't work at all.
You got to tip it upside down and put the pasta in it. Does work, man. You're using it wrong.
If you watch TikTok, they show you the right way to do it, which is actually the wrong way, but they're saying it's right.
Oh, mate. Didn't start with me, you TikTok, mate. Didn't start with me, TikTok. But mate, I thought it was quite crazy that they just flat out kill some of the main characters.
Aye, spoiler alert. That's exactly what happens.
Like, they obviously have more.
Again, there's too much given away in the trailer. Like, see the starfish thing. I mean, don't show that in the trailer.
No,
don't show that in the trailer. It's essentially the climax of the movie, and you've just given it away.
And by the way, like, at what point would I go after watching that trailer, go to the cinema and go, oh, well, I know that gets it. So how long is it till that gets it? You know?
Aye. But see, be honest, I found the whole thing fun, even with this silly thing at the end like that. But that character. I mean, I actually did look at trivia for this because I've got to ask you some questions. But that character Starro, named Starro, actually did appear in an earlier comic book.
I know, but come on, what
And it's
a
a
bad
weird
guy.
thing to choose as the kind of the big the big finale. But I
A
thought it was
bulletproof
funny.
starfish.
I genuinely thought it was funny. Like they're getting chased by a massive arsehole.
Get this right. I don't think that I'll be in a rush to put it on at any time. Put it this way: if I see it in the DVD store, it's on Blu-ray, and it costs £2, I'll probably buy it. Now, £2 for a Blu-ray for me is like I'm buying it if it's a decent movie. I wouldn't pay any more
Two
than.
quid for a Blu-ray is cheap.
Mhm.
that's
Aye, mate.
cheap for any Blu-ray.
Mate, go to Poundland. They're all £2.
In fact, that's weird. Should be a pound.
I
That
know. What the?
the YouTube clip that you sent me earlier on, of what was it called again? Dead Jaws or something? Uh,
It was.
Something Jaws. That's the type of film that you'd spend £2 on a Blu-ray for.
Mate, you're getting X-Men for it on Blu-ray. Hateful Eight with a slip-off cover and everything. £2.
Hateful Eight.
Aye.
I only watched Hateful Eight recently for the first time. I managed to get all the way through it on a night shift, and
You
it was
said that.
class. It was class.
It's class.
Very slow burner, but it was pretty spectacular.
It's Tarantino at his best, so
yeah,
you know what you're expecting. But so on the notes of Suicide Squad, is it something that you? I mean, I recommend to go see it if you're into that kind of thing. But for me, it was like, okay, I've seen it, and that's as far as that goes.
My thing would be to recommend to go see it if you're not into that type of thing, because it pleases people that aren't fans of the genre, in my opinion. Unfortunately, again, I go back to the trailer. The trailer pissed me off. I'm glad I never watched the trailer before seeing the movie, to be honest. Because it was a movie I wasn't particularly bothered about. I didn't bother watching the trailer, and I'm glad I didn't, because I ended up enjoying the film, and I would have been annoyed having seen all the stuff that we've just shown everybody. So that's just well done us.
Maybe I should edit some of the trailers. And do you solid fans some justice.
Do you know what it is, man? I just think that movie makers and marketers they don't know how to promote a movie anymore. They don't know how to make something intriguing enough without just showing you all the good bits.
I think there's
a lost art.
I think there's ways of doing it without insulting your audience.
Yeah.
You know,
and also, when you release a teaser trailer, don't make a teaser trailer 2.5 minutes long. That's not a teaser. That's just
a teaser's 30 seconds at best.
You need to stop that shit. Stop it!
Stop it! Because it.
That's never going to get old until the next time.
No, it's absolutely not. But do you know what it's time for? In fact, we never do this, so I'm going to do it right here, right now. Ready for it?
Right here, right now.
Check out the Jibber Jabber store. You go jibberjabberstore.co.uk and grab yourself some Jibber Jabber merch. We've got a really talented woman who controls our store. And if you would like to get anything, go to www.jibberjabberstore.co.uk, get yourself a hoodie, a t-shirt, or whatever, and we'll also send you something. A mystery prize that you do not know is coming. It's Hateful Eight on Blu-ray.
Aye. Kevin, I'm really hoping you haven't just left me in the shit here. Where'd you go?
The gods had spoken and knocked me right off the show. Nah, time I grab my mouse and my finger hits that button, it knocks me back a page, which takes me clean out of the studio. But
this is what you did. I see. Even though you disappeared, I can tell you did this face.
It was split thinking. But moving on to our next segment, J-Mac, do you know what it's time for?
Is it on the spot or is it trivia? I can never remember what order it comes in.
That's him on the spot.
Still got that photo.
On the spot, the round where I take J-Mac and I put him on the spot with a question that he has no idea I was going to ask him. J-Mac, are you ready to be on the spot?
Well, no, that's why it's called on the spot.
Well, here we go. On the spot question. J Mac, if you could have any talent, ability, superpower to be in Suicide Squad, what would yours be? Now, be realistic and know it's going to contain farts, right? So, in fact, we'll make it a bit more obtuse here.
Bastard.
Using a fart. What's the power of your farts? What does it do?
Time travel.
So you fart and it basically allows, like, so when you fart, it allows that person that's engulfed in the methane gas
Yep.
to travel to anywhere. Or...
Mate, how much funnier would Bill and Ted be if Rufus just came up and farted on them?
So much more
It
funny.
would keep it timeless as well. That phone box shows up in 2020. You're like, why is there a phone box there, man? That's weird. Whereas if it's a guy farting, that doesn't go out of date.
The smell does, but that doesn't.
Time travel, definitely. I mean, you've got your obvious ones like literally. I mean, you ever done a fart and called it like a face melter? Like a fart that can melt faces would be pretty cool. But they wouldn't die. It would melt their face and they just stay like that for the rest of their life. That'd be pretty cool.
So wait a minute. Are you saying that the fart has to melt your face? Is that the price you pay for time traveling?
No. This
just...
is like if you allowed me to do the fart thing. Sorry, if you, sorry, it was my initial choice before the time travel came into my mind
would have been
just face melters. That would be my name. My name would be Face Melter.
How do you melt someone's face?
And the thing is,
pull my finger.
No, here's the cool thing. My name's Face Melter, and I carry a blowtorch. Sorry, no, I carry a flamethrower, but never use it. So people think I melt their faces with that. Then I'm just like,
on the time
somebody write that comic book.
On the time traveling aspect of things, right? Hey, could you imagine that a Jibber Jabber podcast, the comic, where we've got superpowers? It's a bit like Captain Underpants. I'd absolutely love that.
Scott, get on it.
No. So with your superpower fart, right, there has to be a drawback. So you can fart and they take in the gas and it transports them to anywhere they choose. They just have to think of a time, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Right? How do they get back? They don't.
How do they get back?
They don't. Yeah, that's the drawback.
How do they get back? They have to organize it in some way that somehow that fart either never happened or the fart gets put back up in me.
I've got a better idea. You just say, look, you want to time travel? They're like, yeah, really do. Grab a jar. Why? They get some it, and then they think, so that when they wake up, they've got, like, when they come to where they are, they've got a jar that's got still some of the fart, right? And you can just see it now, right? Oh no. So it's like back to the fart to the future.
Yeah, I was going to call it back to the sphincter, but there we go.
Fart to the future. It goes like right? Right. And here's the thing. Marty Farty goes back to the future, right? Farty McFly.
Farty McFly and Blop Brown.
Blop Brown. And they go back.
Brown's funny enough.
They go back, right? And Marty smashes the jar and they need to find a way back. And they're like, let's try to find the fart. And the fart just evaporates.
And none of them can eat enough beans to get the fart to come out at over 88.
Mate, the thing is, though, it's only your fart that can transport them through time. It's only your fart. So you have to essentially find you. So imagine the conundrum they're in then when the jar that they take, Marty falls, it smashes, and the fart evaporates. And how are they going to get back to the future?
Jar of farts.
Oh man, that mate, I have to write that down. I'm gonna have to write that down.
For who? The guys that made Ouija Shark.
No, think of it. A comic book, Jibber Jabber podcast presents Fart to the Future.
No, I think Back to the Sphincter's the way to go.
Oh, I don't know, because that means you're going back to somebody's ass. but you're using someone's fart to travel, so it makes more sense. Fart travel, like fast travel.
Nah.
Fart travel. Nah, fart to the future is where it's at, mate. Fart to the future. This has probably been the best on the spot question that we've ever done.
No, it's the best answer. You're welcome.
I don't know because I kind of planted the fart part. I'm feeling it's a
You
50
planted the
50 on
fart, did you? It makes a change.
that. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for true or false trivia. The round where J-Mac takes this week, he takes the trivia from the movie The Suicide Squad, which I hold my hand up to Schmecca and say, I swear to God, I've not looked at any of the trivia, so I know no trivia on this. J-Mac is going to tell me the trivia, and I have to tell him whether it's true or false. And this is always fun. So, J-Mac, the floor is yours.
Alrighty. We have trivia piece number 1. Captain Boomerang was intended to have a bigger role in the film, but James Gunn and Jai Courtney had many creative differences, resulting in his part being cut short.
True.
False.
Well done, mate. You had me. This was you. Well done. Well done.
Aye, I got you. Aye, I'm quite proud of myself for that one.
That one was
the
good. You
thing
should
is,
be.
I have absolutely no trivia to relate it to or twist it because I just made it up completely.
It's brilliant.
So-
It was worded like it was trivia on IMDb. I'll give you that.
Mate, I'm good at this. That's one thing you will learn at some point. I'm quite good at this when I put my
By-
fucking in gear.
I will learn it at some point. Hey, mate, a lot of the stuff on IMDb is a lot of shite. So what you're essentially saying is you're great at talking shit.
Yeah. Well, aye.
I like it.
Why didn't we do a podcast? Remember a couple of weeks ago when we spoke to Tibor Takis and we said I had to ask him about the dead dog trivia that's on IMDb, and basically it says on IMDb that there's a whole thing about a dead dog in this, and there's a point where a teenage boy's carrying this dead dog around, and he has to bury it somewhere. Anyway, one of the IMDb trivia pieces is that the actor who was carrying the dead dog around was struggling to carry it because it was so heavy, so they had to get it taxidermied so that it wasn't too heavy anymore. So it was essentially saying that they were using a real dead dog, which I knew was nonsense, but I had to put it to Tibor because it was on IMDb. This wasn't from Wikipedia or some shit. This was from the Internet Movie Database, which is a very reliable source most of the time, but it just shows you how bad the quality control can be for submitted trivia. But anyway, here we go. On to number 2. Sylvester Stallone refused the role of King Shark no less than 6 times before accepting.
False.
That is false. He took it right away, which is amazing. And I said as soon as I seen it, I was like, how did they get Sylvester Stallone to do this? And the answer was they asked him.
It's usually the answer.
But I think him and the director, James Gunn, have got a good relationship somehow. I don't know if they've worked together at some point, but he basically just said, yep, anything for you, brother. That was his exact words, apparently. Anything for you, brother. And that was that.
Wow.
John Cena was paid double the salary he was initially offered to play the Peacemaker. This was due to his apprehensiveness at playing a character of this type.
False.
100%.
And I'll tell you why. Because he doesn't mind playing the bad guy in Hollywood, especially
why did I even try and make up false trivia about the wrestler?
He played essentially the kind of bad guy in Fast 8. Cena only needs to uphold that image in WWE, not outside of it. So I knew it was false, mate.
Cool. And actually, like you mentioned earlier on that you're digging him now as a film star, and so am I, to be honest. That was pretty decent. I actually liked one of his first outings into movies.
Blockers. Is it Blockers?
The
Marine.
I actually
Mate,
quite enjoyed that. It was utter nonsense, but it was really good fun.
That gets shat on. The Miz is actually the one that does Marine now. WWE have their own studios of making movies, right?
What are they called?
They're called WWE Studios.
I know.
How creative.
Just for the audience.
So WWE Studios, and they make movies. They've made some good stuff. They made one, I think it was called Oculus. Not always. They made that one with what's her name again? Her who plays Storm in X-Men.
Halle Berry?
Yes. They made one with her where her kid gets stole and she has to chase them down.
Her kid gets stole?
Her kid got stole.
Got stolen. taken.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. Her kid got stolen, and she has to chase her down. I can't remember what it's called. And it turns out it's like a trafficking gang. WWE Studios made that, and they had no wrestlers in it, so they don't always do the wrestlers kind of thing, but they have done in movies like The Chaperone. Hey, do you know what one of the first ones that WWE Studios done were The Mummy Returns, and then The Scorpion King.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Was the Scorpion King? Oh, that was The Rock as well. There was another Scorpion King movie that didn't have him in it, wasn't it?
No, I can't mind what his name was, and I've got it on DVD. I've just not watched it
Oh,
yet.
you poor boy.
But
Right.
WWE Studios, so there we go.
Some more inside baseball, well, inside wrestling from Kevin. Idris Elba was initially cast to play Deadshot, but this was changed to keep the possibility of Will Smith returning to the role.
Will Smell.
Will
Was he in the
Smith.
first one? Will Smell. I'm going to say false.
It's true.
Is it true?
Yeah, he was initially cast to play Deadshot, but then they decided to change it to Bloodsport so that if Will Smith decided he would come back and play Deadshot again alongside Idris Elba as Bloodsport, which would be kind of cool, I think. Okay. Weasel's design is based off director James Gunn's daughter's dog.
No way is that a dog. But they do reference him being a dog, so I'm going to say true.
False.
Oh,
Made that up completely. Man, I'm kicking ass this week. The first cut of the film was deemed to be violent enough for an NC-17 rating, and it had to be cut to get an R. James Gunn has already confirmed an NC-17 rated director's cut will be released on Blu-ray.
False.
It's 100% false. I just made it up completely. So, again, I'm quite proud of my wording, but I think it's fair to say that was a tie this week. Six questions. I think 6 questions. I think it was 3 and 3.
I think I won.
Nah, it doesn't work that way. Just because you think you won doesn't mean you did. Unlike last week. We'll call that a draw. How? Because I blatantly won.
But look at the screen. Look at the screen. It says Kev won.
No, it doesn't.
Well, it's made me all big and stuff. I must have won.
It's amazing what happens when you've got control of the entire show. I mean, you can literally just cut me off.
I know, I could, right? Hey, where did J-Mac go? Oh, he's back again.
Yes, he's back.
For real.
But there you go. The reason I had to make up so many is because honestly, a lot of the trivia on IMDb for this film is quite long-winded or just a bit boring, to be honest. So
I see.
I was like, nah, I'm just going to make up some shit. But I think I did a fine job in making up some shit. So,
mate, you done really well. You done really well. I enjoyed the fact that it wasn't easy, apart from the John Cena one. It wasn't very easy.
I don't even know why I tried with the John Cena one. I don't know what I was thinking. It's impossible to trip you up when it comes to anything to do with wrestling.
Oh, don't get me wrong, you can. I mean, Todd's watched wrestling for almost as long as me, and he can't trip me up on the wrestling ramble.
So I won't.
You might ask me just that one question. I don't know, but when you live and breathe something, it's like me asking you something about Bruce Lee. You know?
Yeah.
It's unlikely that you'll not know it and what came before it just because you spent that much time enjoying it. But who knows, mate? Who knows? I'd go to question time right now, but the comments have been quite silent for the night. There's people watching, I can see, but for some reason you guys don't always put something in the questions, and I think maybe that's because we're entertaining you that much. You're like, hey, it don't need me.
That's it. The quality is just so high that they're like, you know what? I can add no value to this. This is just
yeah. So it's great. It's great that you guys are still sticking with us. So thank you very much for that. Before we wrap this show up, I would like to say something to you guys. I know that a lot of you guys watch all the shows we put out and you attend our watch along, which we will probably have to do that shark movie as the next watch along. Come on, J-Mac. Right. But coming up,
I'll look it up. I'll look it up while you're talking.
Coming up on the show very, very soon, we're going to be having some really, really big guests. People that are in the industry, people that you've seen in many movies, people where you'll say, how the hell did they bag that one? And we're absolutely looking forward to that. So as a way of thank you, I mean, think about this, right? A lot of shows out there, would put that on Patreon and charge you to come along and interact with some of these amazing Hollywood A-listers, right?
Mhm.
But we're not going to do that because we see this as you guys are there for us and we are there for you. So if I said to you, you could come, and I'm going to say someone that we possibly couldn't. So say we had Michael Jackson coming on the show, right? Because there's no spoilers there, clearly.
Mate,
Uh,
never say never.
I know. Essentially, when we know spiritualists, but say we had Michael Jackson coming on the show, the fact that you just tune into our show and you can speak to them in real time via our comment section. You go into the comment section, you type your question. I'll see that you've done it. I will bring it up. I show that comment to that person. They see your name, they see your picture, and they see you. They essentially are there talking to you. They'll answer your question. The fact that we're able to bring that to you guys is our way of thanking you for tuning into our show, for following us on social media, for doing all the cool stuff that you guys do for us. So and in closing, I'd just like to say thank you and keep an eye on what's coming because you guys are going to be blown away just as much as we are.
Yeah, he's not even lying. This is there's some big stuff coming. Big stuff
Absolutely.
coming.
Absolutely.
And there will be further thanks to give out once we announce who's coming on and how it happened. And but yeah, this is it's going to be good. It's going to be big.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, J-Mac, there's a few folk that's coming on that I've not told you about. They're really big. I'll tell you
Well,
what.
that'd be nice.
I'll tell you after the show.
That's a good idea. Aye. Thanks. Oh, I've got a guess for you as well, by the way.
Aye.
Me.
Yeah. Oh, I'm kidding. So in that, we'll maybe do a watch along Sunday, or you're not
This
free on
is Sunday.
Sunday. Next Sunday, like I meant. No.
No, next Sunday I am at night shift.
Ah.
So it's going to be. We could do one Monday, Tuesday. Sorry, we could do one Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So
Right, so it'll be one of
Um,
those days, guys. Just check out our social media; you will see it. It's everywhere. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. If you've tuned in for the show live tonight, thank you again. And if you're listening to us on Spotify, and this is an episode that came out 6 months ago, we appreciate you. Hit the wee subscribe button wherever you are. Keep up to date. Make sure you join us live. That way we can get a chance to know you because you've been getting to know us. And on that note, lads, it's been great. And J-Mac, you got something to say?
Also, I've been here as well.
Take it easy, lads, and we'll see you in this starting next week.